Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price. So, at the time that I am recording this, just to give you guys full disclosure, I am recording this a little bit ahead of time in regards to the holiday season. So, I hope everybody out there has a great holiday season. And I hope that you guys have an incredible time with family and friends. And I just hope that you guys have a great time. But nonetheless, when we really kind of look at XRP and we look at the current price, I know that we are sitting at about 35 cents. And we've been ranging in this price range for a while. We've been, trailing between 30 to 40 cents for, I would say, ever since like June. So when we really kind of look at the overall price action, recently we did see some great movement going back a few months ago where we were trading at like some 50 cents or so. We started to break out back here and everybody was excited. Everybody was saying, settlement, this, that, whatever. But we eventually came back down and things kind of cooled off, which I am happy about. I know that for a lot of people out there, they're going to say, I'm not happy about it, but hey, it is what it is. It all depends on your situation and also how diversified you are and things like that. I've said it many times on this channel. I'm about 60-40 right now. I still have a lot of stable coins on the sidelines that I feel confident having right now because I'm looking at January, and I do think that January is going to be a volatile time frame in this market. There's still a lot of reports coming out around some finances and the economy. We recently just seen a $1.7 trillion bill passed at the worst time economically to not only print money but also spend money. It's just crazy to me that this government they have an idea of what they're doing. It's just the fact that like they're just blindly going about it, and the public kind of sees it, but you really got to be studying finances and you really got to be into it to realize what they really are doing. But nonetheless, not to get too off topic, today we are going to be talking about how and why it could be too late to buy XRP very soon. So, in a video from the other day, I talked to you guys about the overall market. When will we bottom? What's going to happen with the market? What's going on in the market? Like, what are we seeing right now that is telling us that we might see our bottom? Well, not only time frame wise, and not only pattern wise from previous cycles where we are heading into the Bitcoin halving, which by the way, for those out there, we are about like roughly 500 days away from Bitcoin halving. But it's also the idea that like I'm focused on the bigger picture here as well. Right now, if you are focused on utility tokens, you should be focused, and I really say like you should be focused on regulations. Tom Emmer quoting Gary Gensler, because we do see Gary Gensler saying until crypto platforms comply with time-tested security laws, which by the way, crypto is literally like when you look at crypto at the end of the day, we are such an early on technological asset class that I don't think that we should comply with laws from the early 1900s. It's absolutely ridiculous that a commissioner, or I should say a chairman of the SEC, should be sitting around touting the fact that we should be abiding by laws from the 1930s, 1940s. Like it's so stupid if you think about it. But nonetheless, we do see risk to investors will persist. It remains a priority of the SEC to use all of our available tools to bring the industry into compliance. And I've been focused on this for a while. We've constantly been seeing Gary Gensler tout the fact that like, we need compliance, we need regulatory, clearance for crypto. We need regulations. We need regulations. And then like all of a sudden, like it's like a 180, and we're seeing him say, we already have regulations. Just follow the regulations that are in place. They're years and time tested, security laws. Like no, it's really not. And shout out to Tom Emmer because he's ousting Gary Gensler here, and he's saying Gary Gensler and the SEC had more meetings with SBF and FTX/IEX than anyone else in crypto, allegedly to craft a special regulatory framework designed to benefit FTX alone. Making backroom regulatory deals with bad actors is not a tool in the SEC's toolbox. And I will tell you this right now. How do you think Gary Gensler got that $100 million net worth? Do you really think that the SEC pays that good? Or do you think that, being an MIT professor and speaker, do you really think that they pay that good? Listen, he got $100 million from some big names, and I would argue that it's probably big names around the banking scene. So, yeah, we should really demand answers on that wealth because it's very interesting. And then over here, we do see from the SEC just recently, and the reason why I'm bringing this SEC up, right, is because what is the biggest obstacle to XRP's price action? A lot of people would argue that it's the SEC case. And I do think that the SEC case is stifling and, holding up XRP quite a bit. I've talked about this many times, but we do see from Black Swan Capitalist, the SEC has clearly forgotten that the government works for the people, not the other way around. Revealing these emails is a big win for the XRP community as it shows the corrupt nature of the SEC. It might even be large enough to shift the case entirely in favor of Ripple. And here we have Ripple. The SEC begs court not to disclose Hinman documents, threatens appeal. Like, yeah, they are terrified. They are absolutely terrified of these Hinman documents seeing the light of day. Why? Because not only will it hurt the SEC's overall reputation, it might as well put them out of business. And I've talked about this many times in the past. Like, we want to see these documents because these are going to be the biggest nail in the coffin for the SEC. Now, with that in mind, let me take you over to this tweet here from Kevin Cage. So we do see XRP in 2021 at $1.50. Oh man, I wish I got more at 20 cents. If we ever dip again, I'm getting a bunch. Crashes to 30 cents in 2022. I'm scared. XRP then eventually rockets in price. Damn it. And yeah, I think that this is exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have individuals sitting on the sidelines waiting for, 10 cents, 20 cents, because I've seen so many people call XRP down to a few levels. And yes, I have those levels printed out on the chart here. In fact, one thing that tells me that we will eventually see these levels is a breakdown below 32.5 cents, which so far we have been holding it. Yes, we have seen candle wicks below it. Even the candle wick back here in June was a deep wick, but as long as we hold the 32-cent line, I'm expecting us to just trail sideways here for a while. And a big telltale sign from the past has been losing the 32-cent region and retesting about 28 cents. We've wicked down to about 25 cents back here in 2018 and 2019. The only reason why we've seen any price action below or around 20 plus cents down to like even 11 cents was breaking down in it was like a black swan event. This is like the COVID era. So, seeing that price action, could it happen? Yeah, 100% it could happen, but we need to break fundamental support in order to see any of that. And so far we have been making some, higher lows, which is very good. I've shared this many times in the past. Like, if you actually look at this, like, here's that original summer low. Here's the secondary low, and here's our third low. So far, it's been higher lows, trailing sideways on XRP. We've been hitting some resistance up here when we started to break out back in October, which is totally fine. It's understandable. I wasn't expecting XRP to go to $2 back here like everyone was, touting over on Twitter. Everyone gets extremely bullish once we do start to see price action, which is understandable. I mean, people are playing into their emotions, but over here on the Bitcoin price chart, we have a little bit of an interesting bull flag formation. Now, is this pennant going to break to the upside? It's questionable, right? So far, a big sign on the XRP Bitcoin price chart has always been breaking down below the 50 weekly EMA. So far, we have been riding that 50 weekly EMA, even going all the way back to November. We regained it back in September. So as long as we hold this, I do expect the USD price to stay within that 32-cent region and hopefully kind of sustain and build a floor there and start to break up eventually once we do see the market kind of break out. But a big sign to watch for, by the way, is the 200 weekly EMA on XRP, which is at 2600. The last time that we were above this was going all the way back to April of 2019. That's right, April of 2019. We didn't even break out of the 200 weekly EMA during May of 2021, and even this was like April, May of 2021, where we start to see that high of like $2 being tested for XRP, as you guys do see on the left and on the right. So yeah, we never broke out of the 200 weekly EMA. Look at us coiled up and tight between the 200 and the 50. This is very exciting to see it like this. In terms of the US dollar price chart, I didn't check on balance volume, which, by the way, this is not in real time. Like I said, I'm recording this a little bit earlier in time, but we could see some nice volume spikes here. It's not a massive amount. I would love to see us gain a little bit more strength here because, as you guys do see, yes, we are trailing downward. We've seen a nice deep wick down to about 32 cents. If we lose 32 cents, we'll most likely test that 28 cent support zone, and if we lose that, then yes, we will see 25 cents to about 22 cents, which would be a huge buying opportunity in my opinion. So I'm watching on balance volume. One of the biggest things that I am watching around on balance volume is to see diminished volume or just negative volume outflows. So far, we have been seeing quite a bit of buying happening around a few altcoins, especially utility ones. But the big thing about XRP that tells me that we will most likely see a major move going forward once we do see this SEC lawsuit behind us is just the amount of adoption for XRP, and also what Ripple is doing with XRP, especially with a lot of those overseas on-demand liquidity markets. It's only a matter of time before we eventually see XRP regain its previous all-time high. A lot of people ask me, Nick, what do you mean? Like, XRP has been so weak. It's been one of the weakest altcoins because it never made a new all-time high during 2021. That major run in 2021. I always say, like, it's a perfect narrative, right? When we look at the overall XRP price chart, this is a perfect narrative to play into, even into the next major run. Like, I'm going to be talking about XRP, and I'm going to see comments on my YouTube channel. I'm going to see comments on Twitter that will say, why are you still talking about XRP? Like, it never broke out of its all-time high back in 2021. And again, we're still very early on into the next run, even if we've seen our bottom or not. But it's a perfect narrative to keep people out of XRP. Oh, it's one of the weakest assets in the game. It hasn't had an all-time high since 2017, 2018. But being in this market and understanding technicals, understanding the price charts, it's actually very good. I know that this is going to sound crazy. It's actually very good that we didn't make an all-time high here, because a lot of people are expecting XRP to underperform in the next major run. Everyone's overlooking XRP because of the SEC lawsuit already. Retail does not care about XRP, and guess what? Check out some of those higher targets up there. I've outlined my viewpoint on $8 to $13 being very conservative. I think that this level up here, I think that this area up here between $8 to $13 is a great area to look at. Anything after that, yeah, I get a little bit. I get a little bit worried about holding my entire bag until some of these prices are realized in. So I will definitely be taking my profits between $8 to $13. But I am still looking at that $26 level. I think that $26 level is very, very interesting. And even on the regular fib base, $25 would be the max out the max fib level to outreach to, which we've seen assets like Luna do so. So we're definitely watching some of those higher targets up there, because are they possible? 100%. Will they happen? We have no idea, but they are possible to be outreached to. But I have been looking at the $8 to $13 range, because that's right between the 2618 and the 4236. And just so that you guys know, yes, the 4618 would put us at about $15 exact. I think that $15 is still a likely target to be targeted going into the next major run up, especially if we have a whole bunch of mainstream media attention on demand liquidity adoption. And of course, the SEC lawsuit, once it's put behind us, XRP will be unleashed at a very massive rate. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So as if you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.